Guys, what's up? I'm gonna take you guys today with me for a little bit, try to see if I can teach you a thing or two. 6 o'clock, water temperature 77 degrees. Kind of gonna just go through my daily routine and take you guys with me for a day, so let you kind of talk through the way and see what's going on. Thanks again for all the comments and stuff on YouTube for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We're over 1,000 now. We should be able to do live soon, so I'll do a couple days on the water live. I don't know how much interest we'll have in that, but that would be pretty cool to do. So thanks again, and let's get started. So first thing I do when I come out, idle out into the middle, and I'm gonna see where a majority of the bait is. Thermocline's still right around 15 foot. You can see it on your graph. It'll be like it starts to get fuzzy at the bottom. You'll see a long fuzzy strip. That's where your thermocline starts. Most of the bait's going to be hanging right around the thermocline or above anyway, so you'll be able to tell even without being able to see it. You gotta kind of idle out into deeper water so you can start telling where most of it's at. But let me get out here a little bit and then I'll show you. So we're out in the middle now. You can see that almost all of the bait is between 10 and 15 foot. So I'm going to turn it around and show it to you. That way you can see for yourself. So that's what you want to see when you first come out. Just idle around and look at the bait, see where it's at 10 to 15 foot on this particular day. So I'll take you guys with me. We'll get started now. All right, so you guys saw that all the bait was in 10 to 15 foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in 10 to 15 foot and concentrate more on that. You can fish shallower than that, but I wouldn't really focus too much time on fishing deeper. So there is you definitely want to pay attention to where that bait's at, because now you know most of those fish are going to be in 10 to 15 foot. So I'm going to start, and I'm in 12 foot right now. I'm going to pick up the drop shot and I'm going to go to work. I think it would be cool to do something like this live too. You know, everything now is live. They got you know, Bassmaster Live and FLW Live and all this live shit. I think it'll be cool. I'm grabbing a new bait. I'm grabbing a Kitech 3.3. Let me try to get this stand working. There we go. We'll grab a Kitech 3.3 in black. Just looks just like that. All right. Rig this bad boy up. Hopefully my live starts working, because it's I heard some people complaining that once they hit 1,000 subscribers, they still couldn't go live. So I'm hoping that's not the case with us, but we'll see. There's a rock pile out right out here behind us in 12 foot. So I'm gonna start by hitting that, and then we'll go from there. See if we can't get one off of this one first thing. I always check to see if I'm around bait, because that'll, if I'm around a lot of bait, that'll hold me there for a lot longer than if there wasn't bait. And you can't really miss it if you're wondering what it looks like. It'll clutter your screen. And I'm only 10 feet from the object. Not very far, so it's not like I'm sitting really far away from it. You can get pretty close to fish. I mean, as long as the water's not super clear, you can get pretty close. And I've had several of them bite it right under the boat. I'm gonna give the giveaway, I'm gonna give it another like couple days. I'm gonna wait until Monday, so a week from today, and give some people a chance to, because there's still people that keep commenting, so I want to give it a fair shot another week, and then we'll draw it. Couple more casts on this rock pile, and then I'm gonna move on. It's not very big. It's only the size of a car. Not even. Like the hood of a car. So I'll make another cast to it. And then there's some, there's actually a couple more areas right up here shallow that usually have some fish. So I'm gonna hit those in a minute since it's still early. I didn't get out here super early this morning. It's 6:25. I didn't feel like getting up. Not a whole lot of bait out here too. Let me move around a little bit. I'm gonna hit it one more time. I'm gonna try and hit right at the tip of it. There's some bluegill. this way so it's easier for you to see. Fish jumping everywhere. Oh, there we go. Oh. I had one there for a second. Alright, let's try to get him again. That one was up a little shallower. Right at the edge of the grass. Oh, he's got it again. Got him that time. Oh, that's a little guy. Number one, choked it. Alright guys, there's number one, little guy. Nice and healthy. Looked like he got a bite taken out of him on a muskie. You see that? Weird. Drop shot, always getting all wound up. I even use the hooks with a swivel on them so that they don't. They always get fucked up anyway. There's some grass right here, a little bit of wood and some pads, and then there's some rock where that gap is between the pads. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a gap in between those two pads right there, and that's where that rock bottom is. I'm actually throw out towards the rock this time. There's some bluegill over there. I can hear them popping. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but it sounds like popcorn. Let's throw over there. And that's only about 6-7 foot deep. Bait all over the place up here. I can see it everywhere. There's two road beds that intersect underneath of me. I can see them on my map, and then there's a couple hard spots throughout. When I say hard spots, you'll know it when you feel them. It's not a mushy type of bottom. You'll feel that hard rock. I'll throw up here in the actual rock this time. You'll catch a lot of smaller fish this way, but I'll show you how to catch some bigger ones later on. When that sun gets up, then I'll move out a little bit. they're out there all the time, but it's, for whatever reason, it seems like they're easier to catch when the sun gets out. I think it puts them on the bottom a little bit more. I'm not positive, but all right. There's a couple stumps right around here. Might want to throw a frog around a little bit today too. It looks like there's a lot of activity on the surface. Paying attention, you know what I mean? Like, gotta pay attention. Fishing, sometimes fishing got a lot to do with what's going on top of the water too, and not just underneath. Obviously, you can only see what you can see with your graph, but you can also pay attention to what's going on around you. There's a couple more hard spots over here. I want to see if there's one out a little bit further. Usually those bigger ones, I mean, not always, but usually the bigger ones will get out a little bit further than the smaller ones. I want to stump right now. Gonna get a bite, that's where it's gonna be. Alright, now, there's usually one over here on this corner. You notice with that rock pile too, it only took 4 or 5 casts before I moved off of it. You can tell fairly quick. Normally on a spot that's pretty small like that, they'll tell, you'll be able to catch them pretty quick. They'll tell you right away. You don't have to sit there for hours and hours. This isn't tidal water. This is a lake, so they're either gonna bite or they're not. And you can check stuff like that several times during the day. You don't just have to fish it once and then leave. A lot of stuff I've come back to and caught them later in the day off of, or, you know, whatever the case is. A few times a day. Like I said, when that sun gets up, those fish offshore bite a lot better. Not to say they won't do it early, but you guys can see the smoke coming off the water, the fog. It's cold this morning, man. It's like 55 degrees, you know, for the 100-degree days that we're used to. 55 is pretty cold. A lot of people too, they ask me about baits and how often I change baits and what baits I throw and when to change and when not to. You can ask a lot of people that I've taken out, and I really, if I'm dialed into something, I really don't change baits all that much. I feel like if I'm not getting bit, it's because I'm not around them, instead of I need to change the bait, you know. More or less, it's more, are you fishing the right depth than are you fishing the right bait? Now, obviously, you don't want to go in 15 foot and throw a spinner bait on the top. Like, it's not going to do you any good. You want to fish the bottom. So, I mean, if you're shallow, that's fine. You can fish the bottom all you want, or the top all you want. But when you're out in 12 plus foot, even 10 plus foot, you don't want to fish the top. You want to fish the bottom. You know, people see the alewives on the surface and they think they can imitate the bait by fishing close to the surface. That doesn't always work. You know, if you're near a tree or something like that where it's up high in the water column, then yeah, you can do that. But when you're out in open water fishing rock piles and logs and stuff like that that are on the bottom, you don't want a bait that's way up here in the water column when the fish are down here. So just kind of use common sense when you're out here. It'll help you a lot. I really don't like fishing shallow in August, but every now and again you got to. The fish really haven't gotten as deep as they normally do this year either. By this time you're catching them 16 to 20. And this year I'm not catching a whole lot that deep. The majority of the ones that I'm catching are a little bit shallower than that. All right, let's keep on moving. I'm gonna throw a frog around a little bit for a little while. It only take me 10 minutes to go down this bank, so I'm just gotta check and see, you know what I mean? It only takes 10 minutes. Let's put the drop shot up. And let me pick up the frog. This is just a black and red striped king frog. It's got a little bit of red on the bottom. I usually throw a green pumpkin one, but it doesn't really matter. Black with a little bit of red, and I have a rattle in it. I told you guys earlier how to do that. Throwing it on a 7.6 medium heavy with a high-speed Shimano Metanium. Let's see if we can catch a few. One frog, that would be cool. In the fall, I hardly put this down. It's like, between this and a buzzbait, that's really all I throw. You can throw other things and get more bites, but I feel like the ones you get on these are the ones that make a difference, you know? Hoping you guys can see over here. I'm just working it over the pads, and if I get a hole, I'll stop it for a minute and walk it. Let me make sure you guys can see. There, let me turn it that way for you. There you go. Now you should be able to see. Cool. All right. So you can see I threw it up pretty shallow too. Walk it a little bit through there. Keep it moving. Try to make your frog look as real as you can. Walk it through there. I'm just gonna go up this bank real quick, hit this, and then we're gonna get out of here. A lot of bait activity around here. I keep seeing on the surface. That's why I'm staying. Just work it a little bit, find the active ones, and then get out of here. I really want to be fishing deep right now, but I know there's fish up here to be caught. A lot of people think I'm like a shallow guy, but that's not the case. I'm a wherever the fish are guy. So if they're shallow, I'll fish shallow. If they're deep, oh. See how I gave them time to eat it? You always want to give them enough time to eat it, but he didn't have it very good. I think it was a small one. See if we'll get it again. Nope, one and done. Try to catch that fish. How are you going to eat it and then not eat it again? Where'd he go? What a dick. Normally I would throw a follow-up bait in there, but that fish wasn't very big. Might have been like a 2-pounder. I just like him when he eats it. Looks cool.